Good morning. It's Friday, April 23rd. And this morning, I'm going to talk about something that triggered a bunch of memories. So, I don't know how many of you read magazines. Now, I'm not a big magazine reader, but I do hold a long-time subscription to New York Magazine. And every year, I renew my daughter's subscription to New York Magazine as a gift. Whenever she lives in Atlanta. Not that that means anything different, but, she likes New York Magazine, so we always send her a gift every year. And that magazine subscription costs $70. And quite honestly, I never even thought about the price of it. We just did it. So why am I telling you this? Because something happened the other day that triggered a bunch of memories. So I was online a couple of weeks ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I saw an ad for New Yorker, the New Yorker magazine, and it said I could have the online edition for, I think, 12 weeks for $12 or something. So I took it. I took the offer. And this offer included also a hard copy of magazine too. And this is what triggered this whole episode that I'm going to talk about. So the magazine came to the house and I read an article or two, and then I happened to look at the cover. And the cover price of the magazine was $8.99. And that sort of triggered all kinds of memories. Because I did at one time work for Publishers Clearing House. And when I worked for Publishers Clearing House, for $7 you could get an annual subscription to a magazine like Life. And the cover price of Life in 1967 was 35 cents. And now New Yorker is $8.99. Why? Why have these prices gone crazy? And it all relates back to what was happening in 1967. And then later on, beyond that, because Life was a weekly at one time, and then it became a monthly, and then eventually it disappeared. But it was published like for close to 100 years. I think the original publication started in 1883. But when I was a Publishers Clearing House, we were very successful in generating subscriptions for Life magazine. And I remember specifically at one point in time, we were told to stop generating the subscriptions for Life magazine. And you know the reason why? Because it wasn't that the newsstand price was outrageous at 35 cents or whatever it happened to be at the time they decided they were going to stop publishing. The advertisers wouldn't pay any more money. Advertising in the magazine industry was based upon the number of subscribers you had. Newsstand price meant nothing because you couldn't guarantee that every issue was going to sell. But if you had a lot of subscriptions, then the advertisers were willing to pay more money. So what happened to Life magazine is they got so many subscribers that the price of advertising went up because the costs of printing the magazine and publishing the magazine went up because they had too many subscribers. They were a victim of their own success. And the advertisers wouldn't pay more than X per page at that time. I don't know what they were getting per page, but they had too many subscribers. And so when I saw the prices of the magazines now at $8.99 for the New Yorker magazine, and I think New York magazine is $5.99 cover price, and I'm not sure what Reader's Digest is or, any of the others, but their prices go from like $3.99 to $12. And I'm wondering why people are willing to pay that kind of money. With the internet and everything, there's much more competition for your time than reading magazine. But my wife likes New York Magazine and my daughter likes New York Magazine, so we keep it. I don't know if we'll keep New Yorker for too much longer. But it was an interesting phenomenon that you could watch how the world changed if you look from 1967, when I was at Publishers Clearinghouse, to today, which is some 50-odd years later. And recognized the fact that a magazine, and I don't remember, I didn't look at the price of New Yorker in 1967, but it probably was no different than Life magazine. So 35 cents and now $8.99. And I'm sure the costs have gone up commensurate to that because we're all making more money, or those of us who are working are making more money. So it was a very interesting memory that it brought back. When you think of Publishers Clearinghouse and that $7 a subscription you got a year's supply of magazine. And Publishers Clearinghouse was doing 1 million orders for magazines in those days, 1 million orders twice a week. And you know, the interesting thing is that we were keeping most of the subscription money. Publishers Clearinghouse kept most of the subscription money because the magazines weren't interested in the subscription money. They were interested in the bodies that were reading the magazine because that's what they charged their advertisers on. So they were essentially investing the $7 subscription price and giving almost all that money to Publishers Clearinghouse in order to keep generating subscriptions so they could keep raising the advertising prices. And finally, like Life magazine, they had too many subscribers and they couldn't afford to have that many subscribers. So they had to stop. It was an interesting time. It was a very interesting time when I was working there. It was a good company, a really very good company. They took good care of the employees. And don't forget, they had the sweepstakes. If all of you remember, I think it's still going on, the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes. And we gave out $100,000 was the grand prize, or a house. And we did give that money out. In fact, one time, a family from Canada won the $100,000 grand prize. And they came to the party, because we always had a party to give out the prize money. They came to the party, and this poor guy was a miner, a coal miner or something, and he looked like a poor guy. And we gave him $106,000. Now, this is in the late 60s, early 70s, $106,000, and he didn't have to pay any taxes on that money in Canada. So all of these memories were triggered by looking at the newsstand price of New Yorker magazine. It's funny how the world turns, right? So in any event, that's my story for today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.